This is Group 6's attack plan for PO 411. We titled our project Death by Worms, and we'll get into that a little bit later on of why we did that. But this is by Austin Snyder, Austin Dice, Lauren Langstein, and Savannah Starnes.
The group that is responsible for the attack is Tyson Foods. The company is scared of what Brazil will accomplish over the next years as a top poultry producer. The company is afraid it will start losing market share to some of these new up-and-coming Brazilian poultry producers, and they would like to stop that before it happens.
So our goal for this project is to slow down the Brazilian poultry industry because Brazil has the potential to take over the global market in producing poultry. This would greatly hurt the U.S.'s poultry production, including the company Tyson, which is a very large company that produces a substantial amount of poultry. Our goal is to slow down the Brazilian poultry industry by essentially affecting this attack plan, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But we're going to concentrate this attack on the Brazilian company JBS SA. JBS is a global company that has many different branches and markets in many different countries. But we want to destroy the Brazilian market and hope to increase the poultry production in the U.S. economy. In doing so, this will increase Tyson's share of the market and their revenue. By financially affecting a company that outsources production of poultry to other companies, we can effectively promote jobs in the United States and maintain a stronger economy to compete with other companies. This will strengthen our GDP and our economy, as well as increase U.S. jobs. So to get into our target company a little bit more, it is JBS SA, which is the Brazilian proportion of JBS as a company as a whole. So JBS is a Brazilian company that is the largest by sales meat production processing company in the world. It produces beef, chicken, pork, and also selling byproducts from these processing plants. It's headquartered in Sao Paulo. It was founded in 1953 in Goiás. The company has 150 industrial plants around the world. It has over 60 years of experience and is a global food industry leader with over 235,000 employees worldwide. The company's diverse portfolio includes many brands and sub-brands such as Sierra, Swift, Friboi, Moy Park, Pilgrims, Promo, and 1855.
The agent that we will be using for this attack is Marek's disease. It was discovered by a Hungarian veterinarian, and it is an oncogenic herpes virus that causes tumors to develop on the spleen, liver, lungs, and kidneys. Worldwide, the losses can be an estimated $1 billion annually. So far, there have been preventative measures taken using vaccinations commercially. Not all of the vaccinations work properly. They're not super effective. The overproduction of lymphocytes in the chicken attacks the nerves and causes paralysis and tumor formation. We will use mealworms to infect the flock with a certain strain of Marek's disease. We will collect old litter from a recently infected house, and we will place mealworms in that old litter. The worms will be coated in the contaminated dust to be later used to infect the birds. At the hatchery, we will pay off one of the employees to switch out the Marek's disease vaccine with water so that the chicks will be vaccinated but will not form an immune response to the disease. We will place the mealworms in houses that these chicks at the hatchery will be placed at later. Once the chicks are at the house, they will be introduced to the disease through the dust, and we will wait for the infection to spread throughout the houses.
More specifics on the agent that we will be using. We will be using Marek's disease, but in particular, we will be using the BS15 strain that was isolated from an infected house from China. It proved to be very fatal. So far, all of the commercial vaccines that are commonly used to prevent Marek's disease have been ineffective when combating this particular strain. It's highly infectious, high mortality rate, and we feel like this will be the best way to attack the Brazilian poultry industry because it's probably a strain that they haven't seen before. It's one that the commercial vaccines aren't effective against, and this will be our best bet for high mortality.
For our results, since our attack will be spread out over a long period of time, we do not think the Brazilian government or farmers will be able to stop the attack before it becomes very detrimental to their company and economy, especially since it will be coming from the employees on the inside of the company. As a result of this attack, we expect at least a 60% mortality rate of the infected houses. This would cause a major decline in JBS production and in turn a major decline in the entire Brazilian poultry production. We would expect to see a major decline in the Brazilian poultry exports as well. Brazil is a major world exporter of poultry, so this would allow the U.S. to overtake more of the market in exports and U.S. consumption. This attack would re-secure Tyson's reign at top of the poultry producer as a top poultry producer in the U.S. and also help the U.S. take back some of the international market. For our expenditures, Tyson Foods had over $38 billion in sales in 2017. From the attack, we expect to have a 0.5% increase in sales, so we expect to see an increase of $190 million in sales. We expect to have to pay one of the employees at the hatchery and our 5 servicemen that will be servicing and planting the disease at all these different farms, $1 million US each, and other incentives to ensure they will go through the attack. In total, we expect to spend $10 million on the entire operation for paying the employees off and other expenses. If the attack is as successful as we expect, we would still end up making a lot of money from this attack. Thank you for listening to our PowerPoint. Here's our reference slide.